Welcome to the first episode of Hustlers Digest, brought to you by the Lab Indie. I'm your boy Blue the Hun Dun. I'm in here with High Page, and today we got a special guest, Ajani Sportswear. Let us know what you got going on with yourself. Who are you?
My name ain't Ajani. My name is Bryson Davis Johnson. I'm from Champaign, Illinois. Right now, I'm an assistant principal at a middle school here in Indianapolis. I've called Indianapolis home for about 7 years. Own a rental property, and 2 years ago, I launched Ajani Sportswear. It's a custom manufactured sportswear line. I'm getting my stuff made just how Nike gets theirs made, Adidas gets theirs made, and I'm trying to just grow the brand and build a community.
So 2 years ago, what made you want to start going into this?
So it was really like 4 years before that. Somebody had gave me a book called Shoe Dog, which was the story of Nike. And at the time, I had just transitioned. I was coaching men's basketball at UIndy. That's what brought me to Indianapolis. So I was a basketball coach. I was a health and PE teacher. So I would dress like this kind of every day in my day-to-day life. And then when I read that book, I kind of got inspired by how hard it was, for him to get things custom manufactured. And I wanted to kind of challenge myself to do the same thing. And
So a lot of people that's entrepreneurs, they really focus 100% on that. Like most entrepreneurs, you see them, they don't have day jobs. So how hard was it trying to balance having a real day job, having to really go to college, and still trying to pursue what you had going on?
Super hard. It's still hard, actually. I just finished my second master's in May. Going from a teacher to a dean to now an assistant principal, going to school full time, building a brand.
Where you get your degrees from? Don't rush past that.
I got my undergrad degree at Eastern Illinois University. I got my first master's from University of Indianapolis while I was coaching there, and then I just got my second master's from Marion University here in Indianapolis. So just juggling that. I bought a house coming up on 3 years ago, and right now I just made it to a year of renting that house out to travel nurses. So the capacity is crazy right now. I'm juggling a lot of things, and really I want to pivot to kind of building a team and finding people who want to kind of hear the story of Ajani and kind of take that over, finding people that want to kind of help me with the real estate thing, because that's the way that I feel like I'm going to break the generational curses is through real estate and through property.
Let's go back. So what made you decide to go into education? Because a lot of people don't want to go into education because they feel like teachers don't get paid.
Yeah, for sure.
So, what made you decide to do that?
For sure. I think for me, playing basketball in high school, playing 1 year of college basketball, I just wanted to teach PE and coach basketball. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. We come from families where people aren't going to college. People aren't working those types of jobs. So it just kind of stopped there with me. And I'm always the type of person, I know what I know, and I know what I don't know. So I'm always trying to grow and learn and get better. So I was just traveling around to different colleges, and watching practices, trying to learn, pick up on stuff to go back and, be a better high school coach. And luckily, with that grind, with that hustle, with that determination, I was able to get a spot as a graduate assistant at UIndy, University of Indianapolis. Shout out to Stan Gerard. Gave me an opportunity, and then I kind of just, went into it from there. And then going back to the money piece, right? You learn as a D2 assistant, you ain't really making a lot of money. You're making more as a teacher, and we were just talking about teacher pay. So after that, I transitioned back into teaching, went through a lot of life situations, and that kind of drove me out of teaching. And it's funny, you talk about life situations, you talk about struggle. Ajani means he or she who wins the struggle. It's a Nigerian name. And that's why the name resonates so much to me, because I feel like you got everything inside of you to get through a struggle.
Right.
We sitting here talking about Hustlers Digest, but people don't understand that hustlers go through struggles.
For sure. One thing you said that just stuck out, you said you're trying to build a team. That's how important is it about building a team? Because even with us right now, like we just came together from two different walks of life trying to build a team for the same vision. So how important is it about building a team, and what's the difference between building a team and having people that support? Because sometimes people think just because they support, that they should be part of the team.
Right. I think people that's on your team, they own your ideas, they own your drive, your passion, whatever you're trying to do. They own it at the same level you do. So when I talk about building a team for Ajani, I need somebody to take over the marketing. I need somebody to take over the social media side of Ajani. I need somebody designing the clothes, right? Like, this is dope.
Definitely.
But this is really just an idea. I made a mood board. I educated myself. I paid somebody that does freelance work for Lululemon and Alo Yoga. And I was able to say, here's my ideas, bring it to life. And I was able to ship that overseas. Now that we're starting to build these brands, we're doing events at Omni Fitness and Glutes 317. If I bring somebody in, it's like, no, I design. This is what I want to do. All right, well, if my story resonates with you, let's rock. Now I got a designer.
Definitely.
Right.
One of my biggest obstacles that I can relate to with that is when it comes to building a team, your supporters always feel like that they should be a part of the team. And you don't never want your supporters, your day one supporters, to feel like you're leaving them out.
Yeah.
But also, sometimes people don't know what the hell they doing.
Yeah.
So it's like you gotta get with like-minded people. And the hardest thing for us as black people, especially black men, is trusting people you don't know.
Yeah.
So sometimes it might be a stranger off the street who might be the best designer ever.
Yeah.
But instead, your homie might be like, no, I know how to make some shit too. And then it ain't the same though.
Yeah.
So
You definitely have to differentiate like friendships, fans,
Yeah.
and then like people that are gonna help you.
A lot of the
You know what I
times,
mean?
the people that, I mean, that's a great point. A lot of times, the people that's looking at your Instagram story, liking it, sending you the little fire emojis and shit
Right.
like that, you know what I'm saying? Them ain't the people that's really
No.
buying your stuff.
No.
Or they not pulling up to your events.
No.
But it's so easy for people to show love and support that
Yeah,
way.
fake love on the
You know
internet is
what I
very
mean?
easy to do.
I'm not even saying that it's fake. I just feel like we conditioned to that. Like right
No,
now,
definitely.
I only
Definitely.
have Ajani's Instagram page. I deactivated my personal one, not because anybody did anything to me or I'm going through something in life, but it's just like, that ain't what I'm trying to do right
You're
now.
focusing
You
on
know what I'm
what you-
saying?
right.
Like, it looks great. Like, the events that I've had are great. My brand ambassadors are great. But we just had a war in Ukraine,
Literally.
in Russia.
no,
You know what I'm
Literally.
saying? Shipping costs went up. The cost of goods went up. This run I just did was supposed to cost me $12,000.
and that's the part
Ended
people
up
don't.
costing
That's the part
almost
people
20.
don't talk about or
Right,
think
they don't
about.
see like the big picture of shit. They
Yeah.
just see like the
Yeah, I can't fold, but I can't kick it either.
right.
I gotta lock in on this so I can get to the next thing. And there's, I don't want it to stop at clothes. I'm an educator by trade, so I see firsthand all of the issues that's happening in our communities. And shout out to Anthony Murdoch in the masterclass and everybody
Shout
in
out
the
Murdoch.
mastermind with everybody there. You know, he always preaches about solving problems. I'm working on people's problems every day. This has got to be bigger than clothes. So when I talk about building a team, if I can pass off the marketing and the clothes thing, then that's going to give me the autonomy to
Focus
really
on-
go, you know, help people and fix people's problems. And that's the real goal.
The important thing I want you to touch on is because it's real big, especially in the black community. Be your own boss, be an entrepreneur, be all of that. But that money got to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
So how, like, I want you to touch on like how big is it that for you to really do what you want to do, sometimes you might have to really work this job, really do this to get this money to go that way. How important? I guess the question I'm asking is, could you have did everything that you're doing with getting this custom manufacturing and all of these things if you weren't working your day job?
No, I wouldn't be able to do it. And I love my job. I love what I do now. I almost crashed out of education. Like I said, when I was building this brand, I was going through a lot of things personally. And transitioning into administration and having a little bit more flexibility, it's a lot more challenging. The stakes are a lot higher. But I love my job, and I plan on continuing to grow in education. Right, I have educational goals outside of just being an assistant principal. Right, like now it's like, okay, I want to teach college courses. I want to be an adjunct professor in that realm. Right, and then in Ajani, obviously, I want to grow it. I want to be able to do bigger runs and have a bigger impact on the community and things like that. And then the real estate, right? I only got one property now. I'm renting it out. That's kind of changed my life. So how can I figure out, you know, how to get the next property and the next property? I got to eat, though, and I got to pay my bills.
No,
my
definitely.
job is super important to me.
Definitely. And it's about having that umbrella. Like, this is all things that you're doing. So you have to make them in some way be cohesive.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, the more you want to build and you still building education, there's ways that Ajani could be making school sports uniforms or, you know, like, same way Nike make uniforms,
Right,
Ajani could be
jerseys
that and
and
do that.
shit.
Exactly.
Can we
So
touch on that for a second?
Yeah, is that
Because
what you're
it's
trying to
like,
do?
man, you could go find your dustiest cousin. Ask him what his goals and dreams are. And I bet you he give you something that's gonna blow your mind. Everybody got goals and dreams. They just don't either have the discipline.
Shout out my dusty cousins too.
You know what I mean? They just don't have the discipline, or the drive, or the resources.
Y'all know who
You know who you are.
You hear me? But nah, for sure.
And you talk about schools, right? Like both of my parents were raised by their grandmothers. So they weren't raised by their parents.
GG
You know what I'm
babies.
saying? And my mom was raised in a small town in Louisiana, and I've been going there my whole life. And I was just down there over Labor Day weekend, and I found out that my mom's school has never had a softball team. They've never had a softball team. I mean, it's a predominantly black school. It's very rural. So in my head, it's like, man, one day I want to grow Ajani to the point where, you know, now we sponsoring the softball team.
Right.
No,
Start a
for
whole
sure.
softball team.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We giving back to them.
No,
we
definitely.
giving them stipends for training, and we're updating facilities and doing. That's how we. And you can go to our website. We trying to shift the paradigms of
Let
our
them know what's the
communities.
website. We're gonna put it down at the bottom. too.
www.ajanisportswear.com. Everything this run we just did, the Hustle collection, 2 men's sets, 2 women's sets, but the women look good in the men's stuff too. I'm not gonna lie. Everything's half off right now. I'm probably gonna pivot on that right now because, like I said, it's all me. I didn't take out no business loans or none of that. It's all me doing these runs. So I really want to focus on building a team right now, paying down my manufacturing debt, trying to be transparent, right? People got to know you're gonna go through some situations, and then really do a better.
That's
run.
what I was gonna say. What
Summer.
you saying? It's been, you said 4 years in the making, but 2 years you've been active.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've made more than you put in, or have you cleared even at all yet, or are you in debt?
Last summer I broke even. Right now I'm still trying to hustle up and pay off. Like I said earlier, it was originally supposed to cost me $12,000. Ended up costing closer to $20,000. You got to eat that, and you got to stand on that.
Type of.
So we did a lot. We had a boot camp and brunch at Omni Fitness right down the road here in Broad Ripple. Shout out to Ryan and the Omni team. We did an event at Glutes 317. So a lot of things I'm curating on my own, but like just how people will be at the crib scrolling on Instagram, I'm on Eventbrite like shit.
Like, what's going on?
Man, they got a vendor fair in Chicago. Let me reach out, see if the tables is,
That was gonna be my next question. What's the process of, just for anybody else that might listen to this that might not know how to get in touch with these vendor fairs? Like, what's the process of finding these vendor fairs if they're not right in your face, or you don't see the flyer, or you don't see the ad?
I would say the first thing is that our phones listen to us. So if I'm talking about bullshit, or I'm searching up bullshit on my Instagram all day long, then that sponsor stuff you're gonna get is gonna be some bullshit.
You ain't never lying.
I'm looking for
Your
vendor
TV,
events and doing all that.
everything.
I get so much like sponsor promoted stuff that I just find all the time. And then Eventbrite has been like great for
So
me.
what's the process? You can literally go on Eventbrite
And type
search
in like vendor fair,
fair
vendor opportunity
in any city.
Any city.
So if you want to travel and do a vendor fair, you can search that city and look at the dates they do.
Yeah. So like next weekend, I'm gonna go to Chicago for Chicago Fashion Week, and they have an event at the Water Tower. And I honestly, I love making the money from the website, because you can just be laying in the bed and you hear the little Shopify cha-ching, and it's like.
But it's different when you're in front of them people.
I didn't even
different
know
when you able
Chicago had a fashion week. I ain't gonna
Chicago
lie.
got a fashion
Atlanta
and water,
just
and
had
water,
a fashion
but-
week.
My sister models
No,
in Atlanta
but
fashion week.
people don't understand that Chicago ain't what it's Chicago, but that part of Chicago, Water Tower, that's good. That's a big event.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, for sure.
So that's another thing, but you gotta pay. It's different fees, right? Like, so Omni, I did an event there today. Again, shout out to Omni. It was only $25.
Right.
Whereas Six Ways Market, which is a market that's based out of Indy, but they travel around in different cities, $200. 2 days. You know what I'm saying?
Are these things, the six-way market, is this open to the public?
Open to the public.
So that's something
yeah,
somebody
most
can
of
search
them are
and
open
get,
to the
and
public.
get in tune, and they can be a part of them fairs too.
Exactly. But then, I mean, you talk about, all right, so for this jacket, right, I had to not only find the lady to design it digitally, I had to pay her $2,000 to do all of the designs for the jacket, the shorts, the women's bra, all the specifications to send over there to China so they can make it. So I had to pay her. I mean, you paying your Shopify fees every month.
Before you continue, this ain't no get the jacket, get a press on. This is 100% made from everything up and down.
The bra?
Nah, well, I mean, you can wear it with the
I'll
bra.
buy that motherfucker.
No,
Yeah,
that's a
you can wear it.
unisex.
I
It's
look
a bra
real
under-
cute in this.
Yeah, I mean, because we got black. It's
Yeah.
a black bra with the black biker shorts.
Right.
And
What
I'm
I-
out the trunk with it. So
What I was
outside,
getting at was, you're saying the process of building this up of being 100% your own.
100%. Yeah.
Custom. That's what custom manufacturing.
Custom manufactured.
Everybody don't know what that means.
So, all right. So what he's saying is like you can go on Alibaba, AliExpress, whatever the case may
Get
be
stuff
right
made
now
in
and be
bulk,
like, shit,
stock.
I want.
you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah. You gotta start somewhere. Transparency. The first shorts we dropped, and you got the shorts.
I got the OG shorts.
You got the shorts.
Yeah.
First shorts we dropped, it was like
I got that too, nigga. Don't try to put me off like I got the old shit.
I know you do.
Why don't you wear the whole outfit? What we doing?
Hey man.
He
Shout
good. He
Shout out
good.
BBC and ice cream too, nigga. I'm talking about. It's
No, but
cold
like
outside.
those shorts, literally, it was an Instagram ad, and it was
Sure.
like a little company out in California, and it was like, yeah, we got a special on these shorts, and we just put your logo on there. Man, I get these shorts, man. I'ma still rock them, but like logo big as hell, and
You're
just
like, what the fuck is this?
yeah, it's like, well,
Who did
shit,
this?
I got them now, but I mean, I moved them. I broke
Right.
even last summer, but it's just a different. It's just a
It's
different
growth.
beast with-
It's growth
beast
because
with this.
let's rewind and make this clear. You know, if y'all don't know, this my brother. You know what we got going on. But end of the day, you know, when we only had them shorts and he ain't have nothing else, we was outside with them shorts at vendor fairs.
outside.
And
Right.
the same thing. Now that with stuff then upgraded, you know, it's a big difference. So it's like now I got that. We got that at the crib. I put them shorts
Yeah.
on to take the garbage out and shit.
Yeah.
But
Damn. Not the
Damn,
garbage
that's what it is.
No,
That's garbage truck.
That's
because
what
this
it
is 100.
is.
But
The
not
trash
even,
trucks.
not even that, because this is what he's promoting. I don't want to be outside with
Yeah,
somebody
yeah,
that
yeah.
actually want them.
Yeah.
Because it's not even available. Like that's it's off. It's not on the
And then
website.
like,
it's
I don't
nowhere.
even know where
No,
to
it's
get
just
this
way
shit.
different.
Yeah, and it's a total
levels,
percent,
it's
like-
levels.
Like if we put them side by side, you'll be like, oh yeah, I want them. But at the time, but I'm saying that to say you got to start somewhere.
Yeah,
When all you had was
Absolutely.
that,
Yeah.
you treated that like this is what's going on.
like gold.
and you won from that. You
And I
know
feel
what
like
I'm
a lot of people are scared to act on their goals and their dreams because they're scared to get laughed
Yeah,
at.
I feel like people are scared to fail.
Yeah.
So I feel like people don't do that. Like they know what they're good at, but they don't want to put their
Yeah.
all their effort into it because they're like, what if I do something that I love and I fail at it?
Nah, for
Everybody
sure.
fails at shit. You know what I mean? So like, you have to at least try.
Excuse my language, but I don't give a fuck.
You
like,
you can't. Though,
excuse
is what
my
I'm saying.
language,
You
but
can't.
It's been so much
You know
worse
what I
shit
mean?
in life.
You gotta be
Yeah.
There's
ready
so
to
much
go,
worse shit in
like,
life than the motherfucker being like, oh dang, that shit ain't
Yeah.
work out. for
Everybody
him.
that you know
Like,
that you love has taken an L.
for sure.
Yeah,
If
and
they,
gonna take
know what I
more.
mean?
I'm
If
gonna
they-
take more
continue
L's
to
after
take
this.
more.
I'm vocal about my L's.
Right, because it happens.
Nah, cause somebody else gonna see that shit and be like, damn, I
Yeah.
fucked up too, and I can keep on doing
And I
that
can
shit.
keep going,
So it's like you
right.
gotta be vocal. Like I don't
Yeah, I'm not
care.
gonna hide nothing from nobody because this is me.
Because you gotta be
right?
real. You gotta be real.
Yeah.
Because, you know, people be on Instagram and they be thinking that, like, life is a certain way when it's like,
Nah, you
it's his
gotta.
whole persona.
Life ain't
You know
like.
what I mean? Like,
That's why the street's so easy for me. I ain't gonna lie, cause like I just know what's going on. So like
you
I
be
can
living
see
in real
through
life.
so much.
I was
the streets
outside.
are-
I was
the streets
outside
is a
before.
layup
I was
for me.
outside before Instagram, so it's kind of easy to.
You know what I mean?
I was pivoting before that. I actually had to go outside and talk to girls. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm on a
you
different.
have to just swipe left.
No, like that's the
Like,
truth
Ajani.
though. Like I tell my son that all the time. I'm like, man, it's cool to not to
Yeah.
pivot away, but it's cool to talk to these girls and do all that. But man, learn to go talk to somebody,
Yeah.
cause ain't nothing
need
different
social
than that.
skills.
Yeah.
No, 1,000%.
It was some. I don't know if y'all saw it on Twitter, but it was like Shannon Sharp, and the dude was interviewing him. He was like, "Hold on, man." It was a black dude interviewing him.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "You wasn't just talking like this 2 minutes ago."
Talk to me how you really talk.
Yeah, stop
Yeah.
putting these faces on. Even when I'm at school and I'm an assistant principal, like I am professional. Like I take my job seriously, but I'm still going there with my earrings. I'm gonna still talk how
And
I
that
talk.
and that don't make you any less
That
professional.
don't make you no less
That's what I'm saying. That's
professional.
one thing about me. I'm always the same person. You
Yeah.
ain't never gonna catch me being nobody else.
Bro, I got tattoos on my face.
Like,
I challenge
I
anybody
just
to a
tattooed
spelling
my
bee.
neck. Like I'm like going, cause like I'm always gonna be me.
Yeah. You
know
no
what I'm
matter
saying?
what
It's gotta
situation
be
you
a
find
work.
me in, I'm gonna be Paige.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
but when you around, like I treat everything about what Shorty's gonna look at. So like in my mind, it's a kid right now that might be like, man, I might be a little rough around the edges, but shit, I want to be part of Mathletes. Man, go do that. Go do that.
Go do it.
I was in Mathletes. Nigga, we was in Mathletes. Like this is a real life.
in
I was
Jabos.
not.
In Jabos.
The
I'm
freshest
not-
niggas
I'm
in
not good at
Mathletes.
math. I'm
No,
not a
I
mathematician.
like, man,
I don't
listen,
know. I
That's
got
not for
weak.
me.
I got weak at it.
I can
as
count
got
money.
older. I don't know what it was.
That's it.
I can tell you
Well,
20
I mean,
times.
that's a
anything.
good.
I can
You
count
know.
some money.
You know.
That's why I said I can tell you 20
I can
times.
count some
anything.
money.
Wait.
How much money you can count?
Shit. How much do I need to?
Yeah.
Another pie, but nah, nah, man. So what's coming up for you now? Like you got a fall drop, or what's in the plan?
So like
for
I said,
Ajani
I'm gonna
Sportswear?
pivot. I'm gonna pivot right now. I'm actually looking for some adjunct teaching positions at colleges, some remote teaching positions. I need to get a new tenant in my house. So with Furnish Finders, that's the platform I rent on. It's really like traveling professionals, mostly travel nurses, and they'll stay anywhere from 3 months to a year. So my current ones, I already got it earmarked to where they moving out. So I really want to get that in order. And then 2023, obviously, I want to kind of turn a lot of this Ajani stuff over and then focus on purchasing my next property, which will be a owner-occupied multifamily home. Like, that's the goal. I'm gonna say it because I gotta manifest that because it will happen.
You gotta say it out loud.
You know what I mean?
I be telling black people all the time: invest in property, land.
No, for sure.
Buy land.
Shout out Shavar and Chris, man. They two of my homies, man. They showed me,
two brains.
man. They showed me, the power of buying a house. And I was actually gonna sell my house because I had worked in Washington Township. Shout out to Washington Township last year, and so I was moving up north from the South Side. I was gonna sell my house. My homie was like, "Man, don't sell that house. Don't sell that house." And I was like, "No, man, I got it." Thank you. I didn't sell that house, so I still got that, and I'm never gonna get rid of that house probably. So
you always got something.
Yeah, exactly. But you got to have people around you that's gonna tell you the real. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully I tell them the real as well.
You gotta have people around you that didn't grow up trying to survive too, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said,
sure.
I know them too. Shout out to them. But people that grow up with survival will be like, "Man, you better go get that bread, bro." Somebody else will be like, "Nah, you need that in the long run." So.
Yeah, it's a long play. So if it's like I'm looking at this manufacturing debt, this is just a moment in time. I'm gonna pay it off. You know what I'm saying? And then I already know what I'm gonna do as soon as it's done. So I'm excited for this challenge. I'm excited for this struggle.
So Ajani wise, what's the next thing for Ajani? I know what you got on now is still available. Are we gonna
either spring, summer?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know which one yet. It just depends on God's timing. We're gonna do another drop, and I want it to just be way better, than this drop. And that's how I want every drop to be. And I want the events to get better, the initiatives to get better. I mean, people kind of like laugh at Kanye's school. I work in schools. I want to own a daycare center and the Ajani Innovation Center for kids. I don't know if that's what's going to be called, but I want to own a daycare center. You know what I mean?
You want them chanting Ajani in there?
Nah, they're not going to chant.
Nah,
they're not going to chant. Nah.
I'm just making sure.
But a daycare center. That's but a daycare center.
You gotta get clarity when you agree with Kanye right now.
The problem right now is
we talked about it.
You can talk about Kanye. You gotta get clarity.
I mean, he got a school, bro.
Facts. I get what you're saying.
He got a school. I ain't really worried about that other stuff he got going on. It's a lot of stuff that I don't agree with, but like that's just like with anything, right? You can learn from anybody. Mm-hmm. You can listen to podcasts. You can read books. You can watch people and how they move. But you got to extract the information that you can apply to yourself.
Facts.
You can't apply everything.
Facts.
But the problem with our kids right now is they can't read, so they can't learn.
Shout out my son. He's 4 and he's at a 4th grade reading level.
That's what's up. Shout out to your son.
But is that one of the biggest problems in education right now? Like kids reading levels, like kids aren't reading right now, or is that?
Do you think it's because like the internet and stuff that kids don't be reading, or like why do you think that kids can't read?
This is going to be very subjective.
Right.
We can't expect our schools to improve if our communities don't improve.
Right.
That's why I talk about we want to help shift the paradigm. So if I go put a daycare center, innovation center for kids in the hood, that's teaching them how to read and write. I mean, it's so many different curriculums out there. There's this curriculum I found called Kidvestors that teaches young, small kids how to save money and invest and do all of these things. Yeah. We got to start teaching our kids earlier than this. And then also when I talk about innovation center, we got to help these families too,
because that's what I was about to.
We gotta help the mamas and the daddies too.
My personal opinion is, I think right now, a lot of people are struggling more than they ever are. So it's a lot more. It's getting back to how stuff kind of a long time ago used to be. It's a lot of families where the parents aren't at home. Not saying they ain't involved, but they might be working. They might be gone. They not at home reading books with the kids and staying on them about what's going on.
A lot of us growing up, we were latchkey kids, right? Don't open this door for nobody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be at work. Call me if you need me.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So it's like we teaching the kids the stuff that they need to know. We giving them that academic support. I want to make sure I hire people that are trained, that are certified, that are educated. But also there needs to be a space to develop those parents too. There needs to be a computer lab. There needs to be workshops. There needs to be, job fairs for them. There needs to be resume writing. We need to be able to facilitate them to take classes and get grants for that.
Need to be mental discussions.
Mental health.
More than
all
anything.
of that. You know what I'm saying? Food resources.
For sure.
Because it's like What J. Cole said? He said money was the issue, but now that that's solved, and I feel like that's real. Now that's not saying it's going to eliminate all your problems, but man, we live under a lot of pressure.
Make it a little easier.
And make it a little easier to navigate.
A lot of people more happy on Monday than payday. So, more happy on payday than Monday when they go to work.
For
sure.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like that's definitely true, but. Also, talking about like what you're saying, you got to make it, not you, but people in general just got to make it to where they're open to those things.
Yeah.
Like black people, so like, I know black people that need food that don't want to go to the food pantry. So it's like,
man, listen.
Them places are for you to go do that. Like, but we as a community make it seem like that's funny or like it's, well, you need some bread. There's bread right there. Go get it.
You know what I'm saying? You got to do whatever you got to do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can't get food stamps. But guess what? I'll go buy some food stamps off somebody.
Allegedly.
So if you're listening, allegedly, they ain't gonna take me to jail for getting some food. I'll be all right.
Allegedly. All right now.
They might just
I'll buy
your
EBT.
ass up of some Velveeta. Nigga go to jail.
You can sell EBT for some Ajani. We appreciate you coming through for Hustle Digest website. We're gonna put everything down at the bottom as well.
Okay. So Instagram at Ajani Sportswear, AJANI Sportswear. Same thing on Facebook, same thing on Twitter, www.ajanisportswear.com. And you ain't gonna find me on Instagram, my personal one. I deactivated that. I don't need it. I'm in hustle mode right now.
Most definitely. I'm Blue the Hunt Done. It's Hot Page. This is Hustle Digest.